Paul here at AEM. Today we are doing video instructions for a 2008 Scion TC. The kit number is a 21-680. I'm going to take you through step by step showing you how to install our cold air intake system.
Disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. Disconnect the mass airflow sensor. Remove the mass airflow sensor from the intake tube. Be sure to keep it in a safe place. We will need it later. Unclip the VSV hose from the intake tube. Remove the VSV from the intake tube by removing this Phillips screw. Unclip the airbox lid, but do not remove. Now you need to remove the hose clamp securing the intake tube to the throttle body. Remove the factory air filter. Now, using a 10mm, you need to remove the 3 bolts holding the airbox in. Remove the fuse box lid. Tilt the air filter housing up towards the engine and use needle nose pliers to unclip the mass airflow sensor and VSV wire harness from the housing. Using a Phillips screwdriver, remove the upper clip securing the lower intake tube. Remove the second lower clip. Then remove the lower intake tube. You now need to raise the vehicle up and remove the driver's side front wheel. Remove the screw and clips holding on the driver's side fender liner. Pull the driver's side fender liner away from the front fender and secure it behind the front brake rotor. You need to remove the bolt securing the ground wire to the chassis. Now installing the cold air intake system. Secure the ground strap to the chassis with a short rubber mount. Use the long rubber mount on the top. Now, you need to install the lower intake pipe from inside of the fender well. You should keep the plastic on to prevent scratching. Slide the upper bracket over the rubber mount. Loosely secure it with the 6mm washer and a 6mm nut. Loosely secure the lower bracket with a 6mm washer and nut. Now we're going to install the AEM dry flow filter. Make sure you wipe out the inside of the filter before you install it on the intake pipe. Attach the air filter to the lower intake pipe and secure it with the number 52 hose clamp. Next, you need to install the mass airflow sensor in the upper pipe using the screws provided in the kit. Now grab the rubber hump hose. Take the number 40 hose clamp and put it on the smaller side. Then grab the number 48 and put it on the larger side, and snug the clamps. Now install the smaller end on the throttle body. Slide the coupler and the 2 number 48 hose clamps over the lower intake pipe. Install the upper intake tube into the hump hose connected to the throttle body. Align the upper intake tube with the lower intake tube and slide the coupler over the upper intake tube so that the coupler covers both tubes evenly. Loosely secure the 3 number 48 hose clamps. Use the factory screw to secure the VSV and the harness bracket to the bracket on the upper intake pipe. Reinstall the mass airflow sensor harness. Now use the zip tie tree to secure the wire harness. Connect the breather hose to the nipple on the upper intake pipe. Tighten the rubber mount, all bolts, nuts, screws, and hose clamps. Now reinstall the fender liner. Make sure to put back all the factory clips and bolts. Now install your driver's side front wheel. Make sure all your lug nuts are tight before you drive the vehicle. Reconnect the negative battery cable on the terminal.
Okay, there you have it. As you can see, we just finished installing the AEM cold air intake system. Now what you want to do is just overlook everything, make sure everything's tight, make sure you have proper clearance around your intake system, let your vehicle run for a few minutes, and then you can go for a ride.